Good afternoon. This is All India Radio, and I'm Sunil Verma. With me is Surpinder Kaur Chawla with the Midday News. The headlines. Central government reassures farmers minimum support price will continue. Agriculture Minister asserts government is fully committed to the welfare of farmers, ready to resolve all their issues. Nation pays homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 64th Mahaparinirvana Divas. Country's COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.37%. And in cricket, India takes on hosts Australia in second T20 match in Sydney. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these three simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, and focus on hand and face hygiene. Now the news in details. The central government has reassured farmers that the system of minimum support price, MSP, will continue and there is no threat to it. The fifth round of talks between the centre and farmer leaders to end the deadlock over the new farm laws was held at Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi yesterday. The talks between them could not be completed. The sixth round of talks between the central government and farmer leaders will be held on 9th of December. Talking to reporters after the meeting, Agriculture Minister Narendra Singh Tomar said the central government is ready to do anything in its power to further strengthen Agricultural Produce Market Committee APMC Act.
एमएसपी जारी रहेगी। एमएसपी पर किसी भी प्रकार का खतरा और इस पर शंका करना बेबुनियाद है, लेकिन फिर भी किसी के मन में कोई शंका है, सरकार उसका समाधान करने के लिए पूरी तरह तैयार है। एपीएमसी एक्ट राज्य का है और राज्य की मंडी को किसी भी प्रकार से प्रभावित करने का इरादा न तो हमारा है और न ही कानूनी रूप से वो प्रभावित होती है। एपीएमसी और मजबूत हो, इस दिशा में सरकार के लिए जो करनी है वह करने के लिए भी सरकार तैयार है।
Mr. Tomar said the government has worked out possible solutions to the provisions on which farm leaders have raised objections. He expressed hope that farmers' protest will end at the earliest.
हम लोग चाहते थे कि कुछ विषयों पर स्पष्टता से कुछ सुझाव हमें मिल जाएं, लेकिन बातचीत के दौर में ये संभव नहीं हो सका। अब 9 तारीख को पुनः ये बैठक होगी और हमने किसानों को कहा है कि सरकार आपके सभी पहलुओं पर विचार करेगी और हमारी कोशिश होगी कि समाधान का रास्ता हम खोजें, लेकिन समाधान का रास्ता खोजने में यह उपयुक्त होता कि किसान नेताओं के भी कुछ सुझाव मिल जाते तो हमको रास्ता निकालना थोड़ा आसान होता। अभी भी हम उसका इंतजार करेंगे।
The Agriculture Minister asserted that Narendra Modi government is fully committed to the interest of farmers and will remain so in future. He said the government is ready to hold talks with farmers to resolve their issues.
मैं यह आश्वस्त करना चाहता हूं कि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की सरकार किसानों के प्रति पूरी तरह प्रतिबद्ध थी, है और आने वाले कल में भी रहेगी। अगर आप 6 वर्ष मोदी जी के कार्यकाल में कृषि के क्षेत्र को देखेंगे तो मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में आमूलचूल परिवर्तन किया गया है। इसमें किसान की आमदनी में बढ़ोतरी हुई है, योजनाएं बनी है, बजट बढ़ा है, एमएसपी बढ़ी है, सरकारी खरीद बढ़ी है और किसान महंगी फसलों की ओर आकर्षित हो सकें, किसान टेक्नोलॉजी से जुड़ सकें और किसान समृद्धि की ओर बढ़ सकें। इस मामले में मोदी जी की सरकार ने ऐतिहासिक रूप से काम किया है।
The Agriculture Minister said the government will provide a provision for approaching higher courts for dispute resolution while asserting that procurement at minimum support price MSP will continue. The minister reiterated that farmers should keep faith in the Narendra Modi government, that whatever will be done, it will be in the interest of the farmers. The minister also thanked farmers' unions for maintaining discipline while protesting. Farmers are benefiting big time due to the new farm laws of the central government. Farmers from a small village in Hingoli district in Maharashtra are selling their agricultural produce directly to buyers without the involvement of APMCs and making huge profits. Bhagwan Bhalerao said he is happy that he is making more profits than before.
केंद्र सरकार ने कायदा किया है, किसानों को कुछ कंपनियां दिए वाले है। ये कंपनी में हमारा मार्केट कमेटी से वहाँ ज्यादा फायदा हो रहा है। मार्केट कमेटी में माल डालने से हमारा नुकसान होता था, कुछ देर लगता था माल बेचने को। वहाँ वैसा कोई नहीं है, माल हमारा जल्दी बेचता है, जल्दी पैसे मिलते हैं, वो हमारा कमीशन नहीं काटते। वहाँ ऐसे फायदे छोटे छोटे।
Another farmer, Chakraveer Singh, thanked Modi government for taking steps for the welfare of farmers through the new farm laws.
हमारा नाम भैया चक्रवीर सिंह चौहान है। औंध गांव में रहते हैं, खेती किसानी का काम कर रहे हैं। मोदी जी की गवर्नमेंट ने किसानों के लिए साल में 6,000 रुपए दे रहे हैं। हमारी फसलन को उचित मूल्य की व्यवस्था कर रहे हैं। अब जब किसानन के क्षेत्र में जो परिवर्तन की आवश्यकता थी, एक संग तो सब परिवर्तन नहीं हो सकते, लेकिन मोदी जी पे हमें पूरा भरोसा है कि वह किसान के हित में बढ़िया ही करेंगे। बिचौलिया जो अगर फसल बेचन जाओ तो वहाँ मंडियन में डेरा जमाए बैठे हैं और हमारे कृषि में से हम अपनी फसल बेच रहे हैं, उन्हें मुफ्त में मजा आ रहा है। तो ऐसे लोगों से मुक्ति दिलाने के लिए मोदी जी जब बिल को लेकर आए हैं, जो हमारे हितन में है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the construction work of Agra Metro project at 11:30 a.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The Agra Metro project comprises 2 corridors with a total length of 29.4 km and connects major tourist attractions like Taj Mahal, Agra Fort and Sikandra with railway stations and bus stands. The project will benefit 26 lakh population of the city of Agra and will also cater to more than 60 lakh tourists who visit Agra every year. It will provide an environment-friendly mass rapid transit system to the historical city of Agra. The estimated cost of the project will be over 8,379 crore rupees, which will be completed in 5 years. Agra Metro is also designed in such a way that it will provide environment-friendly, comfortable, hassle-free connectivity to 4 major railway stations, bus depots, colleges, schools, offices, residential areas, commercial places, malls and tourist spots of the city. Housing and Urban Affairs Minister Hardeep Singh Puri, Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath and other dignitaries will also attend the event that will be held at 15 Battalion PAC Parade Ground in Agra. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will lay the foundation stone of new proposed parliament building in New Delhi on 10th of this month. Addressing media in New Delhi yesterday, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla said that the new building is being constructed keeping in mind the need of next 100 years. He said the building is being constructed at a cost of 971 crore rupees, which will house more committee rooms and political party offices than the existing Parliament House.
ये नया भवन भी भारतीय शिल्पकारों के द्वारा आत्मनिर्भर भारत, स्वदेशी, सब देश की, अलग अलग देश की विविधताओं की अलग अलग महत्वपूर्ण वस्तुएं और कई अलग अलग प्रदेश की अपनी अपनी वहाँ की कलाकृतियां, वहाँ की विशेष रूप से वहाँ की अपनी द्वारा अपने शिल्पकारों के द्वारा बनाई हुई कई हस्तशिल्प की वस्तुएं भी यहाँ पर लगेगी, उनकी कलाकृतियों को भी यहाँ दर्शाएंगे।
The Lok Sabha Speaker said it will be 17,000 square meter bigger than the old Parliament building. Mr. Birla said that when the country will celebrate its 75th Independence Day in 2022, the sittings of the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha will be held in the new Parliament building.
ये हमारा नया संसद भवन बनेगा जो हम सबके लिए गौरव का प्रतीक होगा, क्योंकि यहाँ से हमने पुराने संसद भवन से हमारी आजादी की यात्रा शुरू की थी। जब आजादी के 75 वर्ष होंगे तब हम नए संसद भवन के अंदर जो हमारे गौरवपूर्ण इतिहास का लोकतंत्र का मंदिर होगा, वहाँ हम सदन की दोनों सभाएं वहाँ पर शुरू करेंगे।
The members of the Inter-Ministerial Central Team deputed to evaluate the damages caused by the Cyclone Nivar in Tamil Nadu and Puducherry are on field visit today. The 8-member team, led by Union Home Ministry Joint Secretary Ashutosh Agnihotri, met the Tamil Nadu Chief Secretary Shanmugam and other senior officials in Chennai yesterday. They were briefed about the loss of lives and property due to the cyclone that crossed the shores on the midnight of 25th November. The central team is represented by officials from the Departments of Agriculture, Highways, Finance, Power, Rural Development, Fisheries and Water Resources, besides Home. Meanwhile, the cyclone Burevi that weakened in the Gulf of Mannar has led to the death of 7 people in Tamil Nadu. The state government has announced compensation of 10 lakh rupees to the families of each of the victims. More than 1 lakh acres of farmlands remain submerged, mostly in the Delta region.
The nation is paying homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 64th Mahaparinirvana Divas, or death anniversary today. A number of functions are being held across the country to highlight the contribution of Dr. Ambedkar in nation building. The father of the Indian Constitution, Dr. Ambedkar, was a jurist, economist, politician and a social reformer who campaigned against social discrimination of the downtrodden, women and labourers. Baba Saheb was conferred the Bharat Ratna posthumously in 1990. President Ram Nath Kovind, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid rich tributes to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his Mahaparinirvana Divas. In his message, the President said Dr. Ambedkar was a great architect of our Constitution who strived for a society and governance based on the tenets of equality and justice. He also urged every citizen to pledge to realize the ideals of economic and social justice, equality of opportunity and fraternity, following the constitutionally agreed paths as suggested by Dr. Ambedkar. The Vice President, along with the Tamil Nadu Governor, Banwari Lal Purohit, showered flower petals on Dr. Ambedkar's portrait at a brief function in the Raj Bhavan in Chennai. In his message, Prime Minister Modi said, Baba Saheb's thoughts and ideals continue to give strength to millions. The Prime Minister said the government is committed to fulfilling the dreams of Dr. B.R. Ambedkar for the nation. In his last Mann Ki Baat program, Prime Minister had said that
6 दिसंबर को बाबा साहब आम्बेडकर की पुण्यतिथि है। ये दिन बाबा साहब को श्रद्धांजलि देने के साथ ही देश के प्रति अपने संकल्पों, संविधान ने एक नागरिक के तौर पर अपने कर्तव्यों को निभाने की जो सीख हमें दी है, उसे दोहराने का।
Home Minister Amit Shah also paid tributes to Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar on his Mahaparinirvana Divas. Maharashtra Governor Bhagat Singh Koshyari, Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, Union Minister Ramdas Athwale, Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar, NCP President Sharad Pawar and BJP leader Devendra Fadnavis paid tributes to Dr. Ambedkar by visiting Chaityabhumi at Dadar in Mumbai, where Baba Saheb was laid to rest. More from our Mumbai correspondent.
Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray expressed satisfaction as followers of Dr. Baba Saheb Ambedkar did not converge at Chaityabhumi to pay their respects to the great social reformer. Thackeray said that people showed discipline and restraint by not congregating at Chaityabhumi in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic. The state government and the BMC had appealed people not to visit the final resting place of Dr. Ambedkar and instead pay homage to their favorite leader by staying at home. Live telecast of the program from Chaityabhumi is been done for the people on various social media platforms and Doordarshan's Sahyadri channel. People from different parts of the state like Solapur, Jaigaon, Aurangabad and Nasik have sent as many as 11,000 letters through post to express their feelings on the occasion of Mahaparinirvana Divas. Kunal Shinde, AIR News, Mumbai.
Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath paid homage to Baba Saheb Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar in a program at Lucknow today. Mr. Yogi, along with others, garlanded the statue of Baba Saheb. UP Deputy Chief Minister Keshav Prasad Maurya said that Baba Saheb laid the foundation of improving the standard of living of the poor, backward and deprived, which is being accomplished under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Several programs at different places are being organized to pay tributes to Baba Saheb on his Mahaparinirvana Divas.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Central government reassures farmers. Minimum support price will continue. Agriculture Minister asserts government is fully committed to the welfare of farmers, ready to resolve all the issues. Nation pays homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 64th Mahaparinirvana Divas. Country's COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.37%. And in cricket, India takes on hosts Australia in second 2020 match in Sydney. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
To get accurate, reliable and wide coverage of news, tune into AIR News 24/7 and FM Gold and listen to the major bulletins at 8:30 AM, 2 PM and 8:30 PM in English and 8 AM, 2:30 PM and 8 PM in Hindi of half an hour each.
चलो
India has crossed yet another significant milestone in its fight against COVID as the recovery rate has improved to 94.37%. The number of daily recoveries outnumbered the new daily cases for the 9th consecutive day today. The total recovered cases in the country stand at around 22 times the number of active cases, with cumulative recovery of over 91 lakh people so far. The new daily positive cases continue to remain below 50,000 mark for nearly about a month now. In the last 24 hours, nearly 36,000 new cases were reported, while approximately 42,000 people recovered in the same time span. The active caseload of the country has witnessed further drop and continues to remain below 4.2%. The total active cases in the country has reduced further and stands at 4,03,248, which comprises merely 0.18% of the total reported cases. The Health Ministry has informed that about 75% of the new COVID cases are concentrated in 10 states and union territories, including Delhi, Maharashtra, Kerala, West Bengal, Haryana and Rajasthan, among others. It said that enhanced countrywide medical infrastructure, implementation of the centre's standard treatment protocol by the states and union territories, and total dedication and commitment of doctors, paramedics and frontline workers have led to a persistent increase in the number of total recoveries in the country. The Health Ministry has said that this has also led to a commensurate dip in the fatality rate, which stands at 1.45%. It informed that 482 case fatalities were reported in the past 24 hours. Over 11 lakh COVID samples were tested in the country in the last 24 hours. With this, the cumulative testing figure has reached around 14 crore 70 lakh. The central government and ICMR have scaled up the testing infrastructure in a calibrated manner. India's testing capacity has touched 15 lakh per day, ensuring easily accessible COVID-19 tests for all.
In Puducherry, the COVID-19 recovery rate stands at 97.30% and the fatality rate is 1.65% as on today. And the number of new cases continues to show a declining trend for the last few days. Only 35 new cases were reported today. More from a Puducherry correspondent.
According to the COVID-19 status report released by the Health Department today, no death has been reported from the 4 regions of the Union Territory. Of the 35 new cases, 13 cases from Puducherry region, 3 cases from Karikal, 18 cases from Mahe and 1 case reported from Yanam region. 62 persons were discharged from hospitals. Presently, 190 persons are being treated in hospitals and another 202 positive cases are under home isolation, with a total number of 392 active cases here. Chandramohan, AR News, Puducherry.
In Maharashtra, the Brihan Mumbai Municipal Commissioner Iqbal Singh Chahal has said that the COVID-19 positivity rate has fallen to just 5%, the lowest in the past 10 months since the outbreak of the pandemic. He said the COVID-19 test positivity rate for the past 10 days, including today, in Mumbai looks promising. Mr. Chahal informed AIR that people should not be complacent and not lower their guard. He said when the pandemic hit Maharashtra in full force in March, the positivity rate was as high as 35 to 36%. Today, out of the total 16,553 RT-PCR and antigen tests, 881 or 5% have tested positive.
Telangana reported 622 fresh COVID cases during the past 24 hours. With this, the total COVID cases reported in the state has gone up to 2,73,341. The state conducted over 57,000 tests yesterday. The recovery rate slightly improved to 96.48%, with 993 more people recovering yesterday. This took the number of recovered people so far in the state to 2,63,744. Meanwhile, the daily bulletin issued by the State Medical and Health Department this morning reported a total of 1,472 deaths so far, following 2 more persons succumbing to COVID and comorbidities during the past 24 hours. Currently, the state has less than 8,000 active cases, out of which over 6,800 are in home isolation. Meanwhile, 104 new COVID-19 cases were reported in Hyderabad during the past 24 hours, while Rangareddy, Medchal, Malkajgiri, Warangal Urban, Karimnagar, Khammam, Bhadradri, Kothagudam and Nalgonda districts are among those which reported a considerably high number of COVID-19 cases during the same time. Mizoram has recorded recovery of 16 patients from the coronavirus infection, while 21 new cases were also detected in the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of positive cases of coronavirus rose to 3,934.
In Tripura, 24 fresh cases of coronavirus infections were recorded during the last 24 hours, while 59 people recovered from the virus in the past 24 hours. The state has also recorded further improvement in recovery rate, which stands at 97.59%. According to the State Health Bulletin, so far 32,045 people have recovered out of the total 32,860 positive cases recorded so far. In Bihar, over 1,53 lakh coronavirus tests have been conducted in the state so far. Health Minister Mangal Pandey said on an average 1,20,000 tests are being conducted every day. Meanwhile, COVID-19 recovery rate in state has improved to 97.20%. Over 2,31,866 patients have so far recovered from the infection in the state.
Talking to AIR, Dr. Neeraj Nischal, Assistant Professor at AIIMS New Delhi, urged people to get tested for corona without any hesitation.
We are supposed to take care of each other. So if we stigmatize a particular patient, then we are actually doing more harm because that person is not going to come forward. He or she may hide his disease, and in that way, he or she might be actually spreading that disease. So it's our responsibility not to stigmatize such patients, and we should come forward to help those patients.
Haryana Health Minister Anil Vij has tested positive of the novel coronavirus. The minister was admitted to Civil Hospital Ambala Kant yesterday. He asked all those who came in close contact with him to get tested for COVID. Confirming the development, DG Health Services Dr. Suraj Bhan Kamboj said his condition is stable. Mr. Vij recently participated in third phase trial of COVID-19 vaccine, Covaxin, and was administered the first trial shot. However, the drug maker, Bharat Biotech, in a statement clarified that 2 doses of vaccine needed to be given 28 days apart for Covaxin clinical trials. The efficacy of vaccine will be determined 14 to 15 days post the second dose. Overall, it takes minimum 42 days for results.
Pfizer, one of the world's premier biopharmaceutical companies, has sought emergency use authorization for its COVID-19 vaccine in India. The firm, in its application submitted to the drug regulator, has sought permission to import the vaccine for sale and distribution in the country. Pfizer India has become the first pharmaceutical firm to seek from the Drug Controller General of India, DCGI, an emergency use authorization for its COVID-19 vaccine in the country after its parent company secured such clearance in the UK and Bahrain. Our correspondent reports the firm, in its application submitted to the drug regulator, has sought permission to import the vaccine for sale and distribution in the country. The News Services Division brings glimpses of the year that was in our special series Year Ender 2020. COVID-19 pandemic has been the biggest story of the year, and India has seen a valiant fight against the disease under the dynamic leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The Prime Minister took quick and proactive decisions to halt the spread of COVID-19. The quick, timely, scientific and technology-driven decisions have shown fantastic results, and today India has a recovery rate of over 94%. Talking to AIR News, Principal Scientific Advisor to the Central Government, Professor K. Vijayaraghavan said that India, amidst all its complexities, was able to handle the COVID pandemic by timely utilization of its scientific prowess and acumen.
Today, because of our scientists, we know how to diagnose the disease and test. We know how to trace because of our IT back-end Arogya Setu, and we know how to isolate people and treat them well. The result of all this is India, despite its huge population, its diversity and challenges, has done very well in fighting against the pandemic. This is a constant battle. One should never be complacent, but yet it shows how in a complex, difficult environment, good things can be achieved by bringing science to decision making.
Our correspondent takes a look at the quick decisions taken by the centre in the fight against the COVID-19 pandemic.
The first case of the deadly coronavirus was reported from Wuhan in China last December, and the number of cases swelled up in no time. By the time the World Health Organization notified the existence of COVID-19 on 7th January this year, India was already gearing up itself to fight an unprecedented battle against the virus. The Prime Minister discussed the issue of COVID-19 in a cabinet meeting in January itself, even before the first positive case surfaced in the country. He directed that India's response must be entirely science-based. India was one of the first countries to begin screening of passengers at airports and seaports to clog the entry of the virus since January. The Prime Minister called for Jan Bhagidari and people's support in the fight against the pandemic, which was emphatically supported by the citizens during the one-day Janta curfew on 22nd March. The real game-changing decision for the country, which prepared India to face up the viral contagion, was the call for a 21-day-long nationwide lockdown from 24th March. It helped break the chain of transmission of COVID-19. The lockdown phase was also utilized by the government to add vast health infrastructure in the country. Anand Chaturvedi, AIR News, Delhi.
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. Dr. Aparna Agarwal, Professor of Medicine, Lady Hardinge Medical College, will participate in the discussion.
More than a dozen people were injured as a gas cylinder exploded in a residential building in Mumbai's Lalbagh area this morning. The blast in the Sarabhai building was reported at around 7:23 a.m. and the fire due to the blast was extinguished by 7:50 a.m. The injured are under treatment at KEM Hospital. Further details are awaited. In cricket, the second 2020 encounter of three-match series between India and hosts Australia is being played in Sydney. Australia was 75 for 2 in 8 overs against India when reports last came in. Earlier, India won the toss and elected to field against the hosts. The Australian team has suffered a setback as their star pacer, southpaw Mitchell Starc, has left the Australian camp due to an unspecified family illness. India won the opening 2020 international on Friday in Canberra by 11 runs. The third and final match will be played on 9th of December. The first of 4 tests started on 17th of December in Adelaide.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital experienced haze in the morning. The temperature will vary between 15 and 26 degrees Celsius. Mumbai will have mainly clear sky. Temperature will vary between 18 and 34 degrees Celsius. In Chennai, the temperature will hover between 24 and 28 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness partly cloudy sky. The city observed minimum temperature of 17 degrees Celsius and will have a maximum of 28 degrees. Srinagar will have generally cloudy sky. Temperature will hover between 3 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 13 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be 24 degrees. The city will have a mainly clear sky, become partly cloudy sky towards evening. Leh will have generally cloudy sky. The minimum temperature was -6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be 3 degrees. Gilgit will have generally cloudy sky with temperature hovering between 2 degrees Celsius to 15 degrees. Muzaffarabad will have generally cloudy sky with light rain. The temperature will move between 5 to 18 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the temperature will hover between 9 and 25 degrees Celsius. Mainly clear sky will prevail. In Chandigarh, there will be partly cloudy sky. The temperature is likely to hover between 12 to 25 degrees Celsius.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Central government reassures farmers minimum support price will continue. Agriculture Minister asserts government is fully committed to the welfare of farmers, ready to resolve all their issues. Nation pays homage to Bharat Ratna Dr. B.R. Ambedkar on his 64th Mahaparinirvana Divas. Country's COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 94.37%. In cricket, India takes on hosts Australia in second 2020 match in Sydney. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the midday news.